The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
This man needs medical attention.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
The old method of treatment for a person in this condition was to throw him in jail.
K-U-P-D.
Thank you very much. Silence the Voice, last year's Play-Doh champion, and oh boy, 20 short days away from that. So bands, local bands that want to win Play-Doh and like Silence the Voice, a 2-time winner, have your name mentioned and your song played each and every day. I don't know if it helps them at all anymore. I don't know. With COVID, nobody got to play anywhere anyway. But people know Silence the Voice. At least they know your name. There's no such thing as a bad time if people know who you are. Even if they hate you, they know your name. That's half the battle. But you can get out there and do that. Play-Doh's coming up here in about 4 weeks. And if you guys are ready, Toledo will start taking submissions any time now. I'm pretty sure he's ready to go with that. And if you guys want, you can fire it over there. Take your chances. Produce it. Make it good. And maybe you'll be the next Play-Doh champion. We'll find out. I got emails from people I want to get to. We're getting into anything else. It says, Dear John, this is from Paul. So bummed. We spent over $500 for a VIP table for Night of the Singing Dead just to meet John. But during the meet and greet, he got stuck at one table, interrupted by TV's Doug Hopkins, and we never really got to meet him. Oh, well, hopefully next time. Well, hopefully I had a good time. I'm telling you, I said it while I was on stage. You guys paid too much. That's silly. And you could have come, like, I did get stuck, but that's what we were saying the whole time. I have to be, there's no backstage. You walk through the crowd. I was going to meet everybody. And then I did get stuck at one table, and there was a lot of people there, and we were all chatting away, and I didn't even know where the VIP tables were, I could be honest with you. It seemed like everybody was kind of in the same place.
Maybe put a flag up next year.
I remember Lenny Dykstra used to have little flags on the tables, and you must sit and meet. I would have happily gone up. You guys should have come over to me at a certain point. I apologize for that, but I told you it was way too much. Lenny Dykstra used to own car washes after his baseball playing days, and I remember him on TV talking about, like, because it was all baseball themed, so you had the grand slam, the home run, the triple, the double, the single. Those were the things you could order for your car wash. And one was like $31, one was $24.99, one was like $15. And they're asking Lenny, like, what do you get for this? And he goes, just get the double. All the other stuff's the exact same. None of this stuff, none of it's just name. We don't do much extra. You just squirt a little something on your tire. It doesn't even work. And he goes, they charge you like $10 extra. Just get the double. Just pay the $12. It's the same car wash. Same thing with this. VIP, they'll serve you nachos. You can pay the nacho fee. It would be less.
Their nachos are really good, though.
And at that place, they're phenomenal. Yeah. They're the best nachos in the city. Period. Like, I had them again, a couple bites. Man.
At each table you stop by?
I had each meet and greet except for this Paul guy's table where I had, they didn't have any nachos left. They ate all their nachos. I'm like, well,
here's the problem.
If you're going to greet me with the meet and greet, the person being meated and would very much like a bite of your nachos. And if you've cleared the table of your nachos, and what's the motivation for me to go over there? Plus, that's how I knew you were VIP. You had a big old plate of nachos on your table. Well, I apologize to you, Paul, but I did. Next year, which they've already asked us back again, after all the hemming and hawing of where it's going to be and how many tickets, it's tough to get them, blah, blah, blah. And it's that club owners are always like that. And I love Matt and Joel. They're like, I don't know if it's going to, we don't have enough tickets sold in 2 weeks. Can we hit it a little harder? I'm like, settle down. Sold out. Everything was great. They're already asking for next year, so.
Jeez.
We'll do it again.
Booked a year ahead of
If I'm still alive, if I'm still employed and all that, we'll do it again next year. And you're already making song choices. Like, you've got two in the bag that Brett's like, you should do this and this. I'm like, Jesus, Brett, let's breathe.
Hey, they're great.
Good suggestions. Yes. Really good. And Michael Jackson would have to make an appearance. Beat It is a twofer. Should get Eddie Van Halen and Michael. Might have to pull that off.
Got the rest of the year.
We're not. We will
away,
not think about it until September. I guarantee you. We can talk all we want now because it's fresh in our minds. A couple weeks, forget it. Tell John that if the neighbor's party, you're still at it. If you're a topic of conversation, it's a good point. You don't have to be there physically.
Yeah.
If they're still talking about you, you're there in their heads. You're living rent free. I like that. And Charlie says, I got a bunch of emails about this Peronis disease, like right away from a bunch of curved wiener guys, I think, because they were mad. Charlie says, women need to disclose if they've got a full roast beef flash then, before theirs comes out. How about that? You don't like the way my dick looks, I got to find out from you, hey, I got elephant ears for a vagina, so I just want to let you know before I pull this down.
Oh, yeah, but you're beef and cheddar down there.
Yeah, well, that's it. They can come up to me at a thing. How come men don't disclose that their wieners have a weird shape or curve or look funny? You should have to think about it. That's true. The lady that sent me that's a good point.
It's true, but I mean, Arby's is different down there than it is with the curve that's going in there and
It can
destroying
damage.
her.
A damaging hook.
Right.
Well, mentally, I'm damaged if I see that.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, the suicide photo down there. I don't want to see that blown out, cigar joke. It's got that explosion at the end and there's stuff hanging out of the sides. We should all have to reveal what we think it looks like. You normal down there? I'm pretty good. You?
Yeah.
I got a little bit of elephant ear thing going on. You get some elephant ears hanging out of there? Yeah, it's more like a basset hound. Oh. I'm not interested anymore. You get the basset hound.
Looks like Fred from Smoking
I
the
got
Bandit.
Fred. I got Smoking the Bandit. How do, Fred? Wow, look at that thing hanging down there. Whoa. I am westbounding down. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Do you like broccoli?
Then he started to do a Jerry Reed impression and he left. Fred, we got to do something about them jowls now. I don't even know why he did it. I know that's Jerry Reed. You got your ears on because this girl's got them on in the wrong spot. They're hanging down to her knees, Bandit. You get out of there, snowman.
Call Enos.
Need a pair of scissors and some gauze. Stat. Yeah, if we have to reveal that ours are screwed up, that's it. Devin says, I've banged a giant woman before. Those aren't the words he used. You don't hear me yelling that hogs and moms and sluts need to tell us they're ruined down south. We see it. We shake it off. Get to work.
Let's man up.
That's right. We're in our overalls and we're just there to work. Blue collar. It's a fact. Yeah. Oh, man. Like loads of them. Chicks' vagina's bad. They don't tell us. That's true. Are they willing to admit it? Are they strong enough to admit it? And I think as a guy, if you had the Peronis, you'd think to yourself, I'm unique. This might actually be better, but evidently awful. So sorry, Peroni sufferers, but I'm with you. I'd keep the Peronis rather than leaving that video watching it get skinned to fix it. Man. Forget it. Imagine the recovery on that. You're asleep during the skinning. You wake up and you're like, that burns a lot. What did you guys do? Well, we had to skin it like a banana. We went in there and snapped whatever that ligament is and popped you back into straight. You're not allowed to use this thing for 4 years. Good, don't worry. I don't want to. Brady, you had your Halloween festival on Saturday.
We did.
You had your Penn State game, which very close
Went
to
down
beating
to the
Ohio
wire.
State. Ohio State wins it last couple minutes, so you were now locked in. But you were supposed to judge a costume contest at your very, very, very Waltons-esque everyone gather in the park and play together small talk festival. And you didn't go.
I went briefly.
Oh, to tell them you're not going.
I went down there at halftime.
Of the football game, which was like 6:30.
No, it was
Didn't the game start like 4?
4:30 start. 4:40. Yeah, I guess it was
That's
around
6:30,
almost
yeah.
7. Yeah. Went down there because Kirby was, suited up.
You can't just go by yourself?
No, Ronnie was suited up, and then I went down there with him.
Did you get suited up as well?
I did not.
Not for the halftime, all right.
No, I went as an Ohio State fan.
All right.
And we went down there, checked it out. I talked to Napoleon Dynamite, the DJ up there. I left as he was spinning psychedelic furs.
Oh, wow. Aimed for the kids.
Yes.
Know your crowd.
Great.
Know your crowd.
Yeah.
Isn't she?
Great.
They're throwing psychedelic furs out?
Yeah.
What are they trying to put people to sleep?
Well,
Who
they
DJs the psychedelic furs? Do you ever play that?
The only time I did this weekend, I had an
Funeral?
80s party, but that was it. That's the
80s
first
party.
time I've done it in
There you would.
years.
You throw it
yeah.
up there.
All right.
So he's keeping it true,
True to the audience.
And there's a little haunted maze of about 6 10 by 10 tents, and they wrap them up, and you go through there. They had your bounce house stuff. And,
Sure.
So I went down there, said I'm not going to be able to, MC the thing.
I can't participate in your
He
fun.
goes, I get it. He's like, I heard you talking on
Yeah.
Friday and this week about it. No problem. And Kirby ended up being in the finals, but she was beat by an adult woman.
Physically?
Yes, to
Physically
win.
beat her down. That's how they determine the winner.
1-on-1. You guys have a slap contest.
All right, here we go, Chief. It's an ass-slapping contest here, the old fucking Gilbert. Wind up and let her rip.
She took 2 smacks and then couldn't stand
Yowzer,
third.
that's a strong hand. Kirby was in a spanking contest to see who won the costume thing. I came in second, Daddy. I couldn't do it. That lady left a red patch on my bottom. Well, an adult
She was
woman?
out. Yeah,
so it's
she was
adults
outdone.
versus
She
kids?
was a doctor, and she spent some money.
That's
on her
not
costume.
fair.
Yeah.
Kirby doesn't have money to spend. You'd have done it because if Kirby wants it, she gets it. But but the adult,
I had no
doctor,
idea that
that's not a
they
fair
bumped her
contest.
out of the division, and put her up there. But it was
not.
fun.
But so she Kirby the thing still?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the adult doctor dressed as?
Might have been the similar thing to Marty,
She was Bette Midler.
or one of the other witches.
Oh,
There's 3 of them.
you didn't even know what she was, and she beat your daughter. Did you leave before the contest was over?
I did.
Yeah, because you had to
Yeah.
get back to the game.
Yeah.
So you just went down there to make sure that you showed up.
Yeah.
Or they've been talking.
How's
to
the weather, man? The weather's great.
How's the weather?
Yeah,
Great night. Great night. Right? What's your route to work? I take the 202. Okay, I'll see you guys later. I gotta go. Did my small talk. I
Went
got
back.
So you couldn't have survived the night not going. The neighborhood would have shunned
I
you.
wanted to go down there.
You
I'm
didn't.
going down there.
Who wants to go to that? You interrupted the Ohio
Fun.
State football game.
That wasn't the question.
Yeah.
You couldn't have
You
survived.
couldn't have survived not being part of the neighborhood function.
Yeah. I
You
guess.
couldn't have made it. You'd have been up all night.
I felt bad I didn't dress up, and I didn't sleep that night.
You're too worried about what your neighbors think.
Yeah.
Your last name is now Jones.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. Toledo, what was yours like?
Neighborhood was
Did you do a party too?
no. We sat in the driveway, drank adult beverages, and everybody came by, and we had our nephew over and took him trick or treating. So he
There
had
you
a
go.
great time.
All right. Well, it's all
Typical.
over. It's all over now. Halloween's gone. Except for Brady in Richmond County, Virginia. I don't know if you saw this councilwoman. People will blame Facebook and things like this. Or it's a councilman. It's a great costume. A great costume. But you don't take pictures, and you can't do it if you're in politics. Go out on Halloween as Randy Watson from Sexual Chocolate if you're a white guy. And he did it right.
I got to see pictures of
Like, this is great. It's perfect.
That is good.
It's a perfect shot. I'd put it up, Brady, but I can't. Just picture Randy Watson.
Yeah.
You've got it. But Dummy photographs it, goes on social media. Next thing you know, the new at 11, councilman apologized for blackface costume. 7 members on the Warsaw Town Council posted the photo of him dressed as a fictional band member from Sexual Chocolate, Randy Watson.
Here, I'll find it.
And he says, I went out as the legendary Randy Watson tonight and give it up for Sexual Chocolate. He wrote on his Facebook caption. The post prompted backlash from observers who accused him of being racist. The news station reported that never intended for this to be racist. I just like it. It's not degrading. I did it to show my love for the character in the movie, but since I'm white, evidently it's offensive to dress like this. I think it's ridiculous.
Evidently.
It's fantastic, though. I mean, it's fantastic. It may have offended people. Murphy did not mean any harm in the portrayal. Like Eddie or Dave Chappelle, I don't go walking around on eggshells. Everyone should have freedom of expression. In both my personal and professional life, I've always been a friend and ally to the black community. And I will use this as a learning opportunity to move forward.
Like Eddie, did he mean Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Because that was Arsenio's character.
No, it wasn't. That was Eddie.
Oh, that's right.
Eddie was,
Arsenio was the other guy.
Randy.
Arsenio was the priest.
Was the preacher.
Or the reverend, yeah.
Yeah.
Reverend Brown.
Sexual chocolate. Andy Watson. But then he brings up Jimmy Kimmel, Ted Danson, Robert Downey Jr. They've all done it. Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, was
Harry Belafonte.
An Arabian once at an Arabian Nights party. He got in trouble for that. You just can't do it. And as much fun as it might seem, you just can't do it, especially if you're in politics.
Well, shouldn't the Jews be mad at Eddie Murphy for playing the old Jewish guy in Coming to America?
Not now, but if he did it again. There was an Asian guy in Norbit that was even worse.
That's true, yeah.
By today's standards. But again, you can't do it now. I can't dress up as Eddie Murphy's Asian character from Norbit. You couldn't be the Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
You couldn't be the blobbing, clump. Couldn't do it. But you can't. Could you imagine, Sal DiCiccio decided to be Randy Watson here in town? It would be hilarious, but he's done.
Re-upped for a couple more terms.
And as stupid as you may think it is, and I do too, I find it to be absolutely not racist, although I understand why people would be like, all right. I always think of it like this. Would I do this in front of a black guy? Would I dress up as Randy Watson in front of a black guy?
That's a solid litmus test.
Oh, my litmus test is perfect. That, oh. And everybody's like, it's a tribute. It's a tribute. And I'm like, all right, maybe. I find it silly that people want to stop it. But if you were in a room of Indians and they did something awesome, would you be like, that was great, guys? Whoa, whoa. You'd get killed immediately if you started that in a room of Indians. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You'd get beaten up by at least one. Or would you feel comfortable enough walking into a room of Indians going, cool, I love you guys. Watch this. Yo, whoa. And you start tomahawk chopping. They'd be like, this guy's got to die.
What tribe you from? I'm from this tribe in Atlanta.
You did war dance, I think. So that's my litmus test. Would you do it in front of the people that if I dressed up as an Asian guy, would I wander over to George Yang's Chinese and start to go, oh, hey, hello, how are you? Yeah, very good. Egg drop soup. I'm not doing that. So then I'm like, maybe I probably shouldn't wear this. If I was Randy Watson, I might be all right with that. I think I'd do that in front of... And then they would tell me, dude, you cannot do this because they're decent friends. They're like, somebody's going to get mad. I'm like, you may not like it that people get mad about. Somebody's going to get mad and wreck it, so this dude's career's over. And he might not walk on eggshells, and I give him tip of the cap for that. You're still going to lose your job. You're not going to be taken seriously anymore. City councilman dressed up as Randy Watson, for any reason whatsoever, kind of diminishes your power in the city council, I think. In a vote of 7-2, the one guy was dressed as Randy Watson. It's like, okay, well, this vote's a joke. Although it's a great costume. I don't know that it's appropriately, like the timing of it doesn't seem like too. The second coming to America this year was terrible.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. You just can't. There's things you can and can't do. Like we could do it with each other, but if a photo got loose, it would look even worse. Like I hid it from the black people I know. It's 10 times worse. Can't do it. Someday soon, Marty dressed as Bette Midler.
That's what I
will be something offensive to trans people. And there's nothing you could do.
Yeah, you guys are going to be canceled next year.
Sure, probably. Yeah. He dressed like a woman. He dressed like a character who happened to be a woman, and we're not 100%. And Marty can just do like I do and just say, well, I identify as both. That's why I'm gay now. So I can do that kind of stuff. And they're like, hey, gay man can do whatever he wants. I'm a homosexual. You can't tell me I can't do things. I've oppressed for nearly 4 weeks now. I've been under the thumb of a hetero society for nearly a month.
You got a big parade coming up.
That's right. They've asked me to go down to that KDKB parade. Not ready. The water's too cold. I'm not getting all the way in. But, yeah, so if your costume was offensive, that's fine. But would you? That's all you have to ask yourself. Would you do that around the people? That tomahawk chop is going away. They're trying, but Fox doesn't seem to mind. Fox Network last night during the game, man, they're panning that crowd during the and Atlanta seems to be
waiting for it,
loving every bit of it. And Atlanta was the one that said back, during the election last year, We have to be. They're the blue city. They're the like super blue Atlanta. Like everything's liberal, crazy Atlanta. Like we get a voters' rights, and we're being suppressed, and they're gerrymandering everything, and it's all crooked, and we got to be fair to everybody. Oh, the Braves are on. Whoa.
Yep.
It's like there's some hypocrisy involved in that whole. We want everybody to be even and treated fairly, and let's not be racist and everything. But don't take away our tomahawk chop. And I don't think it should go away, but it's going away. Some sponsor is going to get hammered on that because they took the whole goddamn All-Star game away from Atlanta just for changing a couple rules during the vote, which a couple of states changed rules during the election.
Yeah, but Montana's not ever getting
No. But
game.
Pennsylvania and all that other stuff, they're probably not either. But there's a whole bunch of them that are like, we're just going to monkey with the rules a little bit because the COVID. And agree with it or disagree with it, Atlanta did some crooked stuff and some weird re-election things and everything else we didn't know, trying to get the count right. And they're just like, screw it, you can't have the All-Star game. It's Colorado now.
Protect the chop.
Yeah, we want it to be a very clean and fair to every race, color, and creed out there, and we don't want to come across as a bunch of jerks. Oh. That'll go away. And then the bullpen thing they mentioned.
That's ridiculous.
Last night, and I'm like, and I think John Smoltz made a point to say bullpen more in last night's game than normal. He's got action in the bullpen, and that bullpen is, we got to keep that thing going because if they don't have anybody up in the bullpen, then you got to. This is everybody in the pen right now. Everybody's available. This is a closeout game. You got back against the wall, so that bullpen should have two guys going in at all times. Always a full bullpen. Just to piss PETA off, who wants to call it an arm barn. Because it's offensive to animals who can't write letters. It's nuts. Got to keep our eye on the prize. And then I don't know how we missed this one. And by the way, somebody suggested that next year for Halloween, because Kirby should be a little taller, you get the big feet. You go as Lithgow and dress her up.
She's still growing.
Dress her up as the Hendersons, Harry and the Hendersons. That's kind of, you found yourself a Bigfoot, and you got to get her feet out there because we're making this much fun of it while they're big till she grows into them. Because like when I was 13, I had giant feet, but I was like 5'4", and said size 12. My feet were adult size. My body was, I was a mess. I grew all the wrong. My nose was first. I grew an adult nose at like age 8. I had a man's nose on my face. I looked like Jimmy Durante child. And then my feet just exploded when I was like 11 years old. From nothing to like size 12 men's shoes. I had these giant feet. I was like, he's going to be like 6'8". No, he's not. He's going to be 6 feet tall. And that'll be it. And it's not going to be for a few years. So before she grows into the feet, you got to take advantage of that. I like that idea. And she'd be up for it because she knows she's got big feet. She had it too. Excellent suggestion, Jeff. But I don't know if you saw this, though, but here in town, this is pretty great. It was in Scottsdale. A guy, 35-year-old dude, who, hold on, let me find this. He worked at a cell phone company in Scottsdale. Did you see this? And some lady came in, and he's like, I'll get your phone straightened out, and we'll cloud these things over to your new phone. And he happens to notice a few photos in there, and he's like, where we were. And sends them to himself.
Oh, boy.
Instead of being smart and emailing them and then deleting everything, he forgot that he fired it over to his phone and then just left it on her text. She was switching numbers and stuff. So then she goes like, all right, I know what you did. I didn't do anything. So he gets all this. It's on the news. And then the details just emerged over the weekend of what the photos were because she said they were pornographic in nature. Me and my husband. And our friend. It was a full three-way.
Nice.
This dude stumbled. This dude is at the AT&T or Verizon or whatever store he's sitting at, and he goes, all right, ma'am, I'll be right back. And he just goes, because she was probably pretty, and hits photos because he's in there, and he's like, oh. He couldn't help himself.
Isn't that a rule?
It should be.
Couldn't help himself. How many times has he done it? That wasn't his first go-around.
A billion times.
Wasn't his first go-around.
If I worked at the cell phone store.
You'd have every picture.
And somebody's like, here you go.
It's like the photo mat back in the day.
Fix this. Yeah, fix this. It'd be like, okay, what's your password?
Give me your thumb.
I'll be right back. And then they always take your phone somewhere else, and that's to look at your photos. So it's your job to put those in a secret file of your wieners and your husband and wife and friend.
Log into the cloud.
She was in a hot three-way and left those photos up when she turned her phone in to change the number, because my guess is the third person in the three-way started getting weird. They still want
the minute
pictures.
that gets out, that they have the lady's name or whatever on the phone.
Oh,
imagine
glorious.
that person, the third person that had he's married. It ends up being a neighbor or something.
Yeah. The worst part is they keep calling this guy Joel R. on the news. It's like Joel R. assisted her, and I'm like, oh, this poor bastard's got that tag on his shirt.
Yeah.
He's going to work with you're Joel. I'd like to speak to another
Right about
person.
you.
Hang on, let me get rid of these dick pics. Joel's got a thing. It says when she left her new cell phone, she checked her messages, which is linked to her old cell phone, and noticed the latest message thread showed an unfamiliar number and had been forwarded 80 photos and videos. The guy didn't waste any time. He got on it.
Nice.
Man, he got on it.
5G.
And he didn't just take a couple. He's like, Jesus, I'm doing all of it. Blocked out 80. The victim told police the pictures were pornographic in nature. She, her husband, and their friend. The thread showed the content was between 6:49 and 7:06 p.m. So he took 30 minutes he probably took care of himself a couple of times. Police contacted the AT&T store and demanded that Joel R. be, chat with him for a little bit. And then the investigation said they were able to determine that his work phone number was the phone that the victim's nude photos were sent to on October 10th, starting at 6:49 and ending 40 minutes later. The guy was just back there for hours.
Man.
Salazar was arrested outside the AT&T store where he worked. He told police he didn't know why the victim's nude photos and videos were in his phone in the first place. I have never seen these pictures in my life. He's trying the R. Kelly. Wasn't me.
Joel R.
Here's the law. This is something you didn't know. I didn't know this was a thing. And I feel like I could get in trouble for this without even trying. Unlawful viewing. I think I've done that. I think I've unlawfully viewed a lot of phones.
Unlawfully viewed a lot of stuff in here.
Every Suns game I've been to, the person in front of me, I've unlawfully viewed every text they've sent during the game. Disclosure of film without consent. So he took it. So it's unlawful viewing. It's kind of like being hacked, but you gave it to him. But that's a rule for all of us to live by. If you're going into the store.
So what you're saying, it would have been much better for him to say, look, I came across some, I guess, pornographic photos in your thing.
I guess.
Could I have a couple of those?
I guess, Brady, what you do is not do it. What you're suggesting is Route 2.
Could I have 80 of those? I've highlighted 80 of them.
I happened to notice when I was thumbing through your phone, loads and loads of you getting hogged by a couple of people. Would you mind if I fired those to myself and pleasured the old Peronis tonight?
Your rose-colored glasses, simpleton innocence would get you through that, though.
Wow. Hey.
She would go, yeah, sure, just have
I
them.
just happened to notice that you did some pornography on your phone. Going through it and all, like I'm not supposed to.
Not all of them, just 80.
But it is like the old 1 hour photo. If you had naked pictures.
Oh, they're making duplicates.
The worst thing that ever happened was the first time I ever saw that machine that showed it to everybody.
Fiesta Mall, they had it right in the window.
My old girlfriend,
Osco
the
drug at
very
our place.
first time, my old girlfriend and I had taken a bunch of nakeds of her. And we put in that little disposable thing.
It was scrolling.
It was at that, what is that hotel off the 60 and Country Club? Not the Holiday Inn, but the bigger one.
Hilton?
It used to be a Hilton.
The Hilton, yeah, now it's a DoubleTree or something.
It's
But
something
the
else.
Hilton Pavilion was
We got
what
a
it was,
suite. I took all my tip money once. It was like $240 for a suite in 1994.
Yeah. You're rolling.
Oh, I was rolling. I was trying to impress her, and she was going to do a lingerie show. The next thing you know, I'm photographing the whole thing. This is fantastic. Hosing, pictures. Take the thing over to the the drugstore. And I'm like, what's this big tower of fun? Oh, show up on there and roll down so everybody else can look. I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus, all of them? Uh-huh. I'm like, oh. We stood there and just waited, cleared the area, and just one naked shot and thong shot and everything else you could imagine. Fur. You know. It was 94, so it was pre-bald. There was a lot of hair. It was well maintained, but it was there. Just one rolling in after another. I'm like, oh, this is horrifying. Luckily, no one saw it. We knew better at that point. It's like, okay. So I started a little blacklight room at the house and got the film developed myself.
Dark room.
Get a dark room at home. That was pre-cell phones when you used to have to take Polaroids. That was why Polaroids were invented. So the dude at the store couldn't look at your nakeds. That and Beaver Hunt and a couple of magazines, which were... But these were quality photos on one of those throwaway cameras. But yeah, so every time you knew, if you had a camera you had to develop film on, nakeds on there, that dude was looking and probably making a copy if she was good. If you're...
Duplicate.
Always duplicate.
Probably a proud moment for some guys. That's right, buddy.
How many times did you go to those things and go, I didn't get my duplicates? They always said, free duplicates. You didn't get my duplicates. Oh, you didn't? Well, let me have that. The negatives. We'll make like 100 of those. Okay. We're going to make so many goddamn duplicates.
I threw in an extra set for free.
Your head's going to spin how many duplicates are going around on this one. Take a look at all the local phone polls because there's going to be pictures of your girlfriend everywhere. You don't go to the phone store with porn in your phone of you. You sit in the car in the parking lot and you go, oh, Jesus, I got to get rid of all of these. You save them on your computer. You get them off the phone. Even if it's clouded, the kid can get in there. They're smarter than you at the phone store. That's all they do.
You just don't let them walk away with your phone. You stay right in front of them.
They'll be right back. They always, what is with the back room at the phone store?
Yeah.
You don't need that.
So basically she called him out for being a perv and herself out for being a whore.
Yeah. She did have to.
It's hard to argue Brett's logic a lot of the time.
Facts are facts, Brett.
Yeah. I mean, she was with her husband and a consenting adult. Yeah. Traditionally, that's been known as horse behavior.
Just a little loose. That's all.
Favorable horse behavior. Now, I'm guessing.
You were talking Arby's earlier?
Yeah, that's true. I'm guessing this was not her first time being a threesome participant because you don't break out the camera the first time.
True.
But it went so well the first time
that
you brought a camera to the next one.
I need to remember these moments. Photograph all this stuff. She didn't seem taken back by it at all, which confirms kind of what Brett's saying. Right?
More proof.
But you can't whore shame her for being a good one. But Joel R., I'm with you. I'm like, you're not taking my phone back there. I've got whore pictures all over it. I always go through like the Dropbox and all that other stuff just to see if there's anything in there that I don't remember. Because sometimes it just moves. Like your picture, like I think that moved. And there's nothing in there. It's mostly dogs. But like, oh, yeah, I forgot about those. Because everybody's taking that funny picture of their wife or whatever just to make them nervous. Their butt's in the air or something. You forget. But then you get your friend in there. And that's the other thing. The real whore in this thing is the third lady that's banging the married couple.
Yeah.
She should have all that stuff on her phone and then be sending it to you via text or email, which he's not going to go through your emails. That would take forever with all. Right. So be smarter about your whore photos, ladies. Come on. Joel R., you were wrong. But I can't say that if I didn't have access to it and a hot lady in North Scott came in and said, I need my phone to be fixed. I can't figure anything out. I'd take it in the back room, too. Well, it's the only way. I've got to get a screwdriver. I'll be right back.
I was seeing if they showed a picture of her.
No, they're not going to show a picture.
I see him, but...
we have to be friends with Joel to see the pictures.
I'm going to try to friend him on Facebook.
Yeah, see if you can find. I have his full name. It's Joel R. Salazar. So they released it to the public. I wonder if Joel's got a Facebook page.
I'm looking.
It's going to be... There can't be too many Salazars named Joel.
Let's see here.
I bet he's...
At Cloudman.
Yeah, the threesome hunter.
ATT Cloud.
ATT Finder. Yeah, he's pretty solid. So good job, Joel, but also terrible job, Joel. But you did something all of us would have done. It's North Scottsdale. I imagine she piqued his interest when she wandered in with her big fake lips and her...
Threesome in North Scottsdale?
Yeah. And her boobs that pushing her shoulder bones into her neck. It's like, oh, those are brand new.
There's another lady that got creeped out because she was at the dog park, and the guy's like, oh, I like your dog. It was German Shepherd, and can I take a picture of your dog? After talking with her for 5 or 10 minutes. Well, he took a picture of the dog and the dog collar that had her phone number on it.
Oh.
And then he followed up a couple hours later.
Called her?
Called her.
Bold.
Yeah, well, she's like, that's creepy.
No, it's not.
He took a shot. So, he took a shot.
Now there's the debate. Is that creepy? Or
it's a little creepy. It depends on how he looks.
Yeah.
If he's a handsome man, it was smooth as silk. If it's me, it's creepy. Because now this dude's like had an angle, thought you had a little rapport. Oop, there's her phone number. You know what? I'm going to take a chance here.
Yeah.
Because it used to be, I got your number from a friend of mine, and it was up to the girl to go, I'm not interested or whatever, and call you creep or whatever. But the guy must be goofy looking.
You're better
that's the
off
only way women
getting
hate
shot
it.
down in person.
Come on, John. You know why you phone in the back room? That's where the lotion's at. You can keep that out on the front
You
counter.
can't have that right there in one of those little weird kiosks they make you sit at for 40 minutes for no reason.
Well, they got hand sanitizer everywhere now, so they can just put the pump bottle right there.
Oh.
It's like, hey, your hand sanitizer is really slippery. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Here, that's for me in case somebody hot comes in.
Ray says, John, you know Polaroid was mostly invented for serial killers. You can't send a bunch of picture of your victims to the photomats. Questions will arise.
That's true. Polaroids were on the bad side of everything. Nobody ever took a good Polaroid photo. It's for serial killers and early days of naked shots. It always blacked out the background, so it was just the image of the human being, and they always looked scared to death because the flash was fire. Got a couple Polaroids of the family. No, thanks. I don't want to see your naked family. They're not naked. Then why do you have a Polaroid of it? Get a decent camera like a normal person.
Photo albums were like 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Because they're so heavy.
It's Polaroid 3.5 inches thick. This is my wife's beaver. Oh, God. Turn it back to Yosemite, please, because it's a smaller cave. We were in beaver hunt twice.
Of course you were.
Blah.
You like roast beef, right?
Blah. We have the meats. Anyway, sorry, Joel R. I think what you did was wrong, but Joel R. Salazar. I want to go to that AT&T store. Yeah, and it is creepy if you're a guy and you're making a move on a girl and you steal her phone number. But if you're a good-looking guy, don't worry about it. Handsome dude could get your license plate, go to DMV, backtrack you through that,
right.
Get some sort of information.
Got a buddy
off
that's
that.
a cop.
Do one of those weird phone search things that you get reverse numbers and you have to pay like money to find out where these people have lived their whole life and if they've got a criminal record, and then call up. I got your number through a ton of research. Oh, you're that John Hamm-looking guy. Yeah, that's me. Oh, it's so flattered. Too many Great Lakes.
But instead of, I met you at the dog park.
Yeah, and the guy that was photographing your German Shepherd. You want to see the photos?
Not really. How did you get my number?
It's on the dog tags.
Oh.
But if he was handsome, that's the difference. Women don't care. If you're good looking, you can break into their house, I think.
Oh.
Hey, I saw you at the Safeway and I decided to crash through your window and just hang out in your house.
Oh, my God. Thank you for trying so hard to be so attractive.
I busted in. I kicked your door down.
You look like John Hamm.
Yeah, I know.
I'll get it fixed.
If I look like that guy Squidward over there, it's like, police would be here. But I'm
Really,
handsome.
Joel R. didn't look like John Hamm.
It's the reason that
No way.
Bundy got away with it for years. He was dashing.
Yeah.
He was bashing people in the head left and right, and people still getting in
Not
the car.
him.
Right. And when Bundy was, like when they were looking for him, a yellow Volkswagen, he tries to pick you up at malls and on sides of roads, okay? All points bulletin to the entire nation. Like 13 more people got into a yellow Bugatti there. That's how Bundy was charming and he looked good.
It can't be him. You're not that charming guy with the yellow Volkswagen, are you?
No. Get in my yellow Volkswagen. That's not me at all. Hitchhiker type. Nurse. Girls at mall. Idiots. Anyway, keep your porn off your phones. Do like Brett does. Print it out at work. Keep a folder. It's brilliant.
On the network.
It's smarter. It's 7:18. What do you got on the big board of musical treats there, Bert?
Wake Up Song brought to you guys by our buddies over there at Action Ride Shop. Weather's getting nice. It's time to hit the trails.
Beautiful.
And they are the ones that are going to be hooking you guys up. Check them out, actionrideshop.com, as well as on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, and all the fun stuff. Five Finger Death Punch making the list. Guns N' Roses, Essential, Anthrax twice. Mickey Avalon. King Missile, Detachable Penis for the song from the conversation this morning.
Mickey Avalon.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Let's see. Wind Beneath My Wings for Marty,
For
our
Marty.
guitar player.
This is the Bette Midler photo.
And Prodigy, Smack My Bitch Up for Sean Connery, who died a year ago yesterday.
Forgot he died on Halloween.
Yeah.
Last year, we lost the greatest Bond of all time, even if you say Daniel Craig. I'll argue with you. If it wasn't for Connery, that series would have died.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a Daniel Craig to be the best Bond of all time. So I do like Bette Midler's Wind Beneath My Wings, but I've had enough of Bette Midler this week. I'm looking at Marty and dreaming of Marty.
I kind of want to hear more from Putrid Pile.
That Horror Annihilation. I don't know that song. I was just.
Well, of course you don't, Brett. You're a human.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, they played it in.
If Marcus was here, I mean, he might.
It's on the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, and Horror Annihilation was a hit. We'll go with Smack My Bitch Up for Sean Connery.
Yes.
A must. Because he's as well known for his time as Bond as he was for that interview with Barbara Walters where he said, if a woman gets out of line, there's nothing wrong with putting 5 across her face. And he told it to Barbara Walters, who at that point was like, he's serious.
Said the quote. It's like, yeah, you don't back down.
All right. You know, everyone's into equality, and I think sometimes a woman, they tend to speak their minds when they shouldn't. Sometimes when they get out of line, I don't think there's anything wrong with a smack on the mouth.
You think it's all right to hit a woman?
In certain circumstances, yes. And at that point, Barbara had to make a decision. Fight him on this or take a smack. Because that was what it's like. If I go back and forth with him, he just told me he's not above it. Sometimes they speak out of turn. It's a great interview. Oh, you have it.
Yeah. First thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched. It's better to do it with an open hand.
Mm.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No, not at all.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good.
You don't think it's bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. They want to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say it again and get into a really provocative situation. Then I think it's absolutely right.
What would...
The best television answer I think that's ever been given. And he looks like he's...
Well, if they take a swing at me...
He's contemplating the entire thing. Well, no, it's absolutely right to just give it a good whack.
Because a man
Any more questions?
The last word.
Any more questions, lady? Well, I've given her the last word, Brady. That wasn't enough. So she took it again, and she got a good smack. Women are good at this. And Barbara Walters had a choice. Do I push back on this? Because if I do... He just told me he'll hit me. I've given you the last word, Barbara. Now, I'm going to quiet the room. And that's how dashing and rich Sean Connery was.
Yeah.
Is that he said that, and women still flocked to him.
The next day, they interviewed Barbara. How was the interview? I think good.
Yeah. We can't understand you. Her lips are swollen. And then it was like 10 years later, he was the sexiest man alive. That's what being good looking is. Yes, I said I'd hit a woman, and now I'm the sexiest man alive. And I'd do it again. I haven't changed my opinion. That's the best part of that whole thing. I haven't changed my opinion.
He stuck with it. You got to give him credit.
I like it. I said it once, I'll say it again. If the situation merits it.
Again.
If the situation merits it. He's balled up and ready to throw.
Open hand.
Well, yeah, you don't want to go fisties. That's wrong. We're stronger. You have to open your hand. Leave a mark like it's an ass. It's for you, Sean. It's not right, but it's still one of the most legendary things that's ever been televised. And at the end of the interview, Barbara's like best friends with him because you know why? We were a cooler people then. We weren't all, banged up with the idea that you got to be mad all the time. Barbara's like, well, I totally disagree with that. I will never, ever be with this man in a relationship or an argument with him because he's abhorrent to me the way he treats women. But you know what? He had never hit me, and I don't like it. Try to talk to him about it. We can still pal around. At the end of the interview, they're walking on the beach, laughing, having the time of their lives because people were a whole lot less uptight then. You imagine pulling that off today?
Oh, man.
Somebody said that on TV. It's like, yeah, get a good whack every once in a while. Oh, my God, this guy's losing his job. He's never going to...
The last word.
Good God. So this is for you, the great Bond.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell?
98.
I'm not cool with this at all.
KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. EricsFamilyBBQ.com.